Yep.
Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Is it? Can I turn the volume up on that?
I think on the YouTube.
It's already on here.
Yeah.
That's the loudest it goes.
This is your dog.
Fine.
Okay.
And he just learned how to do this. But you got this. So now, there's less of this. And more of this. Or maybe when you're rushing to get out of the house. And you accidentally do this. And when you're rushed, and this happens. And then you get this. And you do that. But you can just do this. You'll do less of this. And more of this.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ryan.
I'm Roderick. And I'm Conrad.
And I'm Nabiha.
And we're TrackHound. We're just jump right into the problem. When we were sitting down discussing the problem of losing your dog in October, we figured out that stress, time, and fear was the biggest amongst the problems. When you lose your dog, your first instinct that he's roaming the streets and he could be on the receiving end of a school bus or a car or something crazy like that. The other component was time. You can take 2 hours to 4 days to locate your dog on foot. With our solution and our product, you can cut that 4 days to 10 minutes. With top-of-the-line navigation through a phone and a navigation chip, you can locate your dog in minutes.
Our customer segment is going to be towards dog owners, more specifically to families with kids. We want to target the age groups from 30 to 50 for three reasons. One, because they're more likely to have the money to spend on a product like this. Two, they're going to start new families, so they want to adopt new pets for the families. And three, since they do have kids, there's more of a chance for the dog to get out of their yard.
And the market size, the pet industry has the fastest growth rate in any industry today. There are 54.4 million households in the U.S. with dogs. That means that our total addressable market is $3,808 million. We believe that we could take 18% of this industry, which would conclude our serviceable addressable market to being $685,440,000.
For competition, we have two major competitors, Wilson and Garmin. Wilson's a collar, fits dogs 15 pounds or higher, and for Garmin, it's a collar with a 10 on it and a separate walkie-talkie. Those two separate devices cost about $800. For TrackHound, we fit all types of dogs, all sizes of dogs, 15 pounds or higher or less. We have it's a collar attachment, so it can fit. It goes onto the collar, so it's fashionable, it's comfortable, no antenna, nothing like that. And we track multiple dogs. The average number of dogs in the household is 1.6, so that comes in handy.
We started out with our MVP process thinking that we were going to build a prototype, create an explainer video, and then measure our success by the number of email signups. And although two of those things did happen, it just didn't happen within our timeline. We did create a prototype, but it came out with the wrong dimensions and the wrong color, so we just didn't go through that route, and we instead created a survey, and we generated over 100 responses, and we asked two big questions, two questions that really highlight this entire process, which is, would you buy this product, and how much are you willing to pay for it? When we asked, would you buy it, 81% of people said yes, they would. would. And when we asked how much they would pay, we gave the option of $40, $70, $100, and over $100. And majority was 46%, and they said that they would pay over $100. And since we're pricing at $69.99, so it would be even better because we're going to be charging less for it. Our ideal price was $70, and 18% of the people that took the survey said that they would pay that much for it. The cost of goods sold, the 3G chip comes out to be $5.25. The battery is $7.25, and the charging dock comes out to be $12. And the holder that encases the chip and the battery comes out to be $5. So the total unit cost of making one would come out to be $25.50, giving you a gross margin of 53.6%. Although these numbers are just estimates, we did work with our mentor's director of IT to get these numbers. So although it's an estimate, it's relatively solid numbers.
So we will be charging $69.99 for the collar attachment and the charging dock. We'll be charging a monthly subscription for $8.99.
And that monthly subscription is just so the people can get 3G service, because if we did Wi-Fi only, then if the dog left the yard, you wouldn't be able to track it. So we'd have to work with a 3G company such as Verizon or T-Mobile, like a phone service.
And then our business model, as you can see, through year 1 to year 5, we are growing very rapidly. And that's because in year 1, we want to focus on the development of the app and the design of the attachment. We want to make the GPS as reliable as possible and the attachment itself to be as comfortable as possible before we take it out to the market.
This is the number of the funding request, and it's broken down into 5 categories, and the total startup capital would be $220,000, and that comes from the administrative cost, the development cost, and the marketing cost. The administrative cost comes out to be $3,100, and that's just for patents and insurance and stuff. We really do want the best patents for it since our design is so intricate and stuff. The development cost comes out to be $178,000, and majority of that goes to developing the app, which would be $150,000, and then the other $20,000 goes to a one-time fee overseas to build it. And then the marketing cost comes out to be $2,500, and we do realize that that's not enough to market it, so we're hoping to take some money out of development cost and give it to the marketing section so we can spend more on marketing. This is just breaking it down. As I said before, the app is $150,000, and that is just a one-time fee, and then the attachment is also $20,000, and that's to find a place to build it and to make it there. And for our first year, we want to make 300 units, and that's because we want to sell 25 a month, so we'd want to get them all at once.
As a new business, we would want to get our collar out in the field as soon as possible, so marketing would be a big role in it. Social media such as Facebook or Twitter ads would be our first step. Pet shows or pet stores, anywhere we can get a kiosk in there and get our product in the people's hands would be the best bet. And free trials, basically give our product to a few lucky people, see how it is, see if they like it, and then word to mouth would be big. Because back in October we had a survey. We didn't conduct as many surveys or results as we wanted. Mr. McGann went ahead and posted it on his Facebook group with dog lovers. We got like over 100 responses in a few days, so word of mouth is a huge role in it.
And the valuation, we are seeking a $220,000 investment in exchange for a 25% stake in our company. Investor equity, in 5 years, we believe that the buyout value of our company will be $5,302,725, which means an investor with a 25% stake in our company will have an exit price of $1,325,681.
We plan on doing a strategic buyout in 5 years, so we would hopefully sell to Petco or Lupine Pet, which is a well-known collar company. So that's what we'd want to do in about 5 years. And we've got our smartphones and we've got our pets, so why not work them together? Thank you. Any questions?
None.
9. Hi.
That was actually very good.
Thank you.
You know, just overall, let's start with the big one is the valuation. So you're asking for a $220,000 investment for 25% stake, which equates to an $880,000 valuation today. How would you justify that? You don't have any sales. You know, it's just kind of an idea at this point. So how did you come up with $880,000 valuation?
Well, our first year, we're planning on selling at least 25 units every month. So because most of the money that we're spending our first year is for the app, so $150,000 is for the app and all the social media to get our product out there.
Yeah.
And then after the first year, we should, as we had on the 5-year model, we start generating sales because we're getting more money out of it and we're not spending it on the app because we're kind of developed.
So what's the profit on each unit again? Refresh my memory.
$6.99.
$6.99.
$69.99.
No, that's the cost, right? $69.99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
that's-
what are we gonna make every year? Because it's $6.99. You said I think it was what 50-some% margins.
Yeah.
53.6.
Yeah. So what's the profit on one unit?
It would be about like 35.
Yeah, 35.
So we got $35, which is a one-time profit, but then we also have like a monthly
Reoccurring,
subscription,
Yeah.
Which is $8.99 a month.
which is $8.99.
And what's
right?
it cost you guys? Is your margin in that $9?
Uh,
Like $35.
$5.
$5 is what?
What it costs to work with the company that would do the service.
3 months.
Okay, no, $4. Okay, so you got a $4 on that. Okay, when you did your MVP and you did the survey and you asked those 2 questions, one of the questions was, what's your price point? And the response you said was, I think it was like 40-some% would pay $100.
Over 100.
Over 100, and then there was like, the sweet spot was like 18% or something, and said they'd pay like $70, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Did you talk to them about the reoccurring monthly subscription fee? How did you introduce that question to them? Because it looks like your model is based on, I mean, your profit margin is really on those monthly subscriptions. That's where it's gonna come in over a long period of time. So did you introduce that in your MVP? Did you ask that question regarding the monthly subscription?
We actually did the survey online, so we didn't ask about the monthly subscription fee, but we're assuming that people would want it so that they could actually track their dog if it actually runs away. Because I know you can do a Bluetooth service or a Wi-Fi service, but that's not going to work if your dog actually runs away.
Yeah.
So I think if they're actually going to pay the $70 for the actual collar attachment, they'd be willing to pay the $8.99 a month to track their dog.
Was there an option to use cellular service versus GPS?
Yes.
That's the route we're going towards. The 3G, correct? That's
Yeah.
the cellular. So we would link up with the phone cellular company and then use their cellular.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of problems with the unit. Have you guys gone out and actually bought somebody else's unit and tried it? See
Like-
what some of the problems are?
No, but I know. Do you have a device like this?
I had one, it was called Dog Tracks.
How'd it go?
It sucked.
Um,
It sucked.
Why
I'm
so?
assuming you said use the satellite.
Well, because I had a big dog,
Uh-huh.
and it would pull a collar down, and then the satellite couldn't find the collar, because it's not on the side where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
In the video, you have a small dog.
Yeah.
So if the dog runs away, gets into the forest preserve, which was my big fear, satellite couldn't read the product. Went in the viaduct, couldn't read the product, so it was very spotty. Basically, if you didn't, if it was able to read your area, which you map the area, you know, and it knows when you draw the boundaries for the dog, when it goes outside the boundary, is when it would set the unit off. You basically have a few minutes in that area to get that dog before it goes off to somewhere really bad and you're not going to find it. So it has a lot of, you know, pitfalls. That's why I say if it uses GPS, which is the satellite versus cell towers, you know, then it's not, it doesn't have to be a direct line of sight basically. This how, you know, with GPS, with satellites work.
Okay.
So that was the problem I had.
Yes, as you mentioned that, we were actually talking to John's director of IT the other day, and he mentioned the same problem, like how we would reach rural areas and how the 3G would work. And he actually said that it would be easier to get 3G there, so like it would work in places that don't have good Wi-Fi connections. So if you like go down south, like you'd still get the connection from the 3G towers.
And what's the difference between you and the other 8 or 10 brands on the shelf at Petco and,
Well,
you know,
the number one,
PetSmart?
yeah, the number one competitor is Whistle. We're better, or we think that we're better than them because their product doesn't fit dogs that are 15 pounds or heavier. We all have small dogs, and that big collar would not fit on a dog. It'd be extremely uncomfortable for them.
And on the app, you can, we were reading reviews about it, and people were complaining that they have multiple dogs and they weren't able to track more than one on their phone. So we'd want to have a code so we can track more than one dog on our phone, because the average household number of dog is 1.6.
Is there a way to test the tolerance for that subscription? In terms of, could you maybe reincorporate a survey of some kind, or I wonder, like, you know, those stats, how realistic they are, or how valid they'll be. Like Jim said, if you introduce after the fact,
Right.
is there maybe it'd be important to test that? You know, your
Yes,
short-term
yeah,
data.
definitely.
And then multiple dogs, you get a discount for having, I have 3 dogs, I had 3 dogs, I had 2. I'm gonna get a discount for more than one dog instead of paying $9, you know, a month per dog.
No, yeah, that's a good point. We can, we should come up with like a bundle, like a family phone plan.
Mm-hmm.
Probably have to buy both collars for $70 and then pay a monthly fee of $8.99.
Did you look into Cano? So if I bought a collar, it'll have a SIM card in it, I presume. So like, will there be a with or without GPS tracking? I presume it'll be the same collar, right? You're not
Yeah,
gonna-
no, yeah.
Yeah.
So is it possible to activate that collar? So would I be activating it in the store when I make the purchase, or would I be doing it when I come home? Would you envision I would then activate it by going to a website, or could I do that on the fly? So say I get home, I put this thing on my dog leaves, I don't yet have it activated. Could I activate it from the app itself?
Yeah, we'd want to do it so you can do it from the app itself. And I know for like the first couple years, we're going to be selling directly online, so we'd want to make it on our website too.
I mean, the dog tracks, what it was called that I had. You had to go to Google Maps, get a picture of the house, right? And
Build
you
your
would build your boundaries, and then you submit that online to the app. And it would have to read, you know, that to know where your boundaries are set. You know, it was a little weird, I remember doing it too, with the actual lines that you had. I don't know, it was something weird about the boundaries and setting up, but it's,
What'd
you
you
know,
pay
it takes
for
a
that?
little work. I want to say it paid $200 for the unit. And I think it was like $15 a month was shown. So,
By
For
the way,
the
your
satellite?
video, go ahead, sorry.
It was $15 a month for the satellite fee.
right.
Yeah, which didn't work so well, so.
See,
we
but
decided with
I
that.
already had the scare,
Yeah.
which is really what you're selling.
Yeah, no, yes.
My dog ran away, and it was almost dusk, and here we are with guns going into the forest reserve, afraid of the coyotes and everything else, and knuckleheads on the end of the lot barking at the fence trying to get in, because he realized he was on the wrong side of the fence, but didn't actually run really far.
That's not his dog's name, by the way, not the one.
So I'm like, that's it, you know, we're gonna get this tracking device, and, you know, it was decent, but, you know, I stopped using it after a month or two. And, so, the other thing I bought after that, to track him at nighttime, was this actual piece. This is years old, I don't know why I keep it, but you put it around his collar so I can see him at night wherever he's going. So, you know, now he's gone, so there's a little momentum.
So a couple things that you've got going large for you, right, that's just tremendous, is, Carrie, you've got a dog? So dog owner, dog owner, dog owner, dog owner, I mean, I mean, that's really a good thing, right? And so your addressable market, I definitely saw where that came from. The heartstrings, we don't want to lose our pet, crazy good, right? I think that you can define your benefits a little bit better than some of the competition. So one of the points that Ted made as far as like satellite versus cellular, I think that maybe you can make it, literally define that a little bit better, and it'd be helpful, right? Nice video, by the way, great actors.
Thank you.
Incredible. I don't know how you hopped that fence with that one lead with the.
That was one take, one take.
Stunt double or no?
Yeah.
No.
No, that's good.
Doing it for
Thank you.
years.
Yeah. I know you probably had insurance waiver and that sort of thing, so that was really good. I'm pretty stoked about the product. I think it's a great product. It just needs to be honed a little bit better.
Yep.
You got a week, should you win or actually advance from this one to the next one to kind of shore up some of those questions that maybe came about. But overall, great job.
Thank you, appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good job, guys.